Minus Scotty, though, today.
How'd you feel about week one, TK?
Yeah, man, I had a great week one. 3-0 in the college, 2-1 in the pro. Hit the Monday night games.
Better than me.
Yeah,
Better than me. Welcome back to Get the Edge. We are live on YouTube. Thanks for coming. Thanks for viewing us here at this beautiful Podcast Junkies studio in Boca Raton, Florida. We are without Scotty today. He's on a little quick... is it a vacation he's on?
I don't know. I'm not going to say what I'm going to call it, but yeah, he's on a little trip.
All right, well, he's not here today, so of course they put it on me to be the host. Thank you guys for coming. I'm going to welcome my co-host today, TK from TK Wins.
And I'm ready to roll again. Well, a great week number one for me. I'm ready for week number two. Had a little Panther party yesterday. I'm well rested here for tonight, so getting ready to give out some nice winners for the week there.
I wish I was there, T. The timing was a little off, but Ben, are we able to throw that up? This is where everyone, TK, was at a Stanley Cup party yesterday, midday, and we had to cut the sound because they was giving some issues for the sound, but this is a local establishment by us, and they are parading that beautiful...
Walked right by me, man.
Beautiful Stanley Cup.
I got to touch it later on. Got a nice little picture by it as well. But I brought it in all with the police escort. It was pouring down rain yesterday, but that place was packed and jumping. A lot of Panther fans ready for a week. Their first game coming up, I guess, October 7th. I heard them all saying yesterday. So
they're going to
be coming around the corner, man, a few weeks.
They're going to be raising the banner, too. There it is, right there. Look at my man TK with that cup.
Front action.
Wow.
Right now, so probably that could have been you right next to
Wow, that could have been both of us. Now I'm pissed. Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, we're going to dive right into it, guys. That's pretty cool. We have a possible three-peat coming up. You never know. What do you think, Ben? Three-peat?
I definitely think so.
I mean, listen,
I definitely think so.
They're poised to do it. They have all the pieces in place. Everything's ready. They got all the guys back for the most part.
Chuck's getting a little injury.
Yeah, but he's going to come back. He's on crutches.
January?
I saw a video of him. January. He's on crutches. He'll be fine. Let's dive right into it. Let's do a little recap, TK. I want to throw it to you. Let's start with college. What stood out? What teams stood out? Bad, good? What did you think of college?
What a wild weekend of college. I didn't use that game, but that Florida UCF game. What a game! What a game! UCF comes back. That's isn't that your Stumping Crowns or is it UCF?
That's UCF, but
I know I get them mixed up every once in a while.
Yeah, that's UCF, but boy oh boy, that's a impressive, very impressive matchup. UCF jumped in the college football playoff odds. They are now plus 450. I don't know if that's something I believe in, but they have a pretty easy. Actually, play Miami this week. Could you imagine if they pulled two upsets in a row?
That's great. They're coming, I think, as a 17, 18-point underdog this Saturday. Correct?
16 and a half. Last time I checked, it might have moved.
17 and a half right now. I'm looking at right now. Miami's been at 17 and a half, 56 and a half. That's going to be a good game as well. I mean, all the Florida teams played fairly decent except for the Gators. I mean, you had Florida State. What did they win, 77 or whatever? That was an absolute ass-whipping. But
well, the thing is with these Florida teams, T, is there's so much talent in high school football in the state of Florida that some of these guys that don't get recruited by, maybe UM or UF, and they end up at UCF or USF, end up being really, really good. Whereas if they were playing in a state with not a lot of talent, like if they were playing in, I don't know, what state doesn't have a lot of football talent? Wyoming, right? If they were playing in Wyoming, that player would get noticed because there's not a lot of good players in Wyoming as there is in Florida. For anyone that's from Wyoming, I'm not trying to disparage Wyoming at all, but there's so much talent in Florida high schools that sometimes these smaller schools like USF or UCF snag up some of these talents, and they end up having Cinderella years, like the year where UCF went undefeated, beat Auburn in the bowl in the bowl game and everything like that. So it happens. It's going to be interesting to see them play against Miami. It's the same line pretty much that they had against Florida. So if they could pull off another upset or even keep it a close game, their people are going to be looking at them. How about FSU? Again, 70, what was it here?
70-some points.
77-3 with 729 yards of offense. Granted, it was against an FCS school, but I was watching that game and I was thinking of something, TK, and me, you, and Scotty, we were kind of going back and forth. Almost turned into a little argument last week where we were talking about Alabama and Florida State. maybe Florida State's just really that good and Alabama's not that bad.
That's the way it's looking at. But you got to wait till FSU plays a real team. I think FSU's off this week, correct?
I'm not sure.
I don't think they're playing this week. I think they're off. They don't play for another 2 weeks. But Miami's definitely playing this week against South Florida. The other team, Gators, are playing again this week as well. So it should be a nice week for some of the Florida teams as well. Florida's got LSU, 7.5-point favorites right now, LSU.
Yeah, that's the thing about like week 2. A lot of big spreads last week. Like Alabama beat UL Monroe 73-0. Ty Simpson, their quarterback, was perfect. 17 of 17, 226 and 3 touchdowns. So that's the problem with week 2 in college football, guys. There's a lot of big spreads. Some teams blow them out, these 40-point spreads, and some keep it close, and sometimes it's hard to know who's going to do what. And then the last thing I was looking at for college, T, is John Mateer, this quarterback for Oklahoma. He was plus 2,500 to win the Heisman. He's rocketed up to, I think, the favorite now at plus 800. He had 3 touchdowns against Michigan, but the thing is, Oklahoma has a brutal schedule ahead, so I don't know how long that's going to last.
Arch Manning, what did he drop down to?
He dropped a little bit.
He actually didn't look that good in that game. I was watching that game as well, and if you did watch it, you can see he was looking receivers. If you're playing a fast defense, he's going to have to get that ball off a little quicker. So if you watch him play last week, he didn't really look that sharp against a weak team. I think he played San Jose State.
I think he has a lot of developing to do. Let's not forget, he's still young. I think a sophomore? He has a lot of developing to do. So John Mateer's the favorite, plus 800. Garrett Nussmeier, LSU QB, plus 850. Carson Beck, 11-1.
Carson Beck could be there. He's just got to get by a couple of these teams. He's got the Gators coming up, FSU. They got South Florida this week. I mean, they should handle South Florida this week, minus the points there. Not saying they're going to cover, but that's a big number. But he didn't look bad. I mean, I know they really played nobody, Bethlehem Cookman or whatever they played.
He looked good in that first game, though.
He did. He looked good.
Against Notre Dame.
He looked good in the second game, but again, they didn't really play anybody in that second game, so you really can't judge it off of that.
You know who I like is the South Carolina quarterback, Lenora Sellers. I think he's at 13-1, and I think that team, if that team wins games, they have potential. I think South Carolina could be a sleeper. I was talking about them a couple weeks ago, how there's a lot more parity right now in the SEC, and I think South Carolina could definitely be a sleeper.
Yeah, we got OPP in there again. He's saying Florida going to take going down against, or what I can't read his message, Florida going down against LSU. They're not playing it. So
is OPP Tommy?
It must be Tommy.
Okay.
It's OPP. LSU, he says they're going down against LSU, the Gators.
Interesting. Well, I mean, LSU are touchdown favorites. They do have possibly the best quarterback in the country with Nussmeier, so it's it wouldn't surprise me in the way the Gators have been playing. I see our man. Let's bring him in. Let's bring in Scotty. He's coming to us through Zoom live.
Where do you see that? I was looking.
I just saw him flash on the screen. There he is. Scotty, what's happening, brother?
Welcome, guys, from Boston, here in downtown Boston right now, over here by Copley Plaza, downtown Boston. What's going on, man?
Yeah, your hair's a little messy.
Your hair looks way different, Scotty. I had to say.
Must be they got out of the humidity, man.
My wife got me running around like a crazy man today. We must have did about 5 miles in like the last 20 minutes trying to get me to a place where I could sit down and talk to you guys.
Scotty, real quick, me and TK were talking about stuff that stood out to you first week of college or week 2 of college football. Good, bad. Do you have anything, any teams, any players, anything that stood out?
I'll tell you, a team that surprised me, and I've cashed them, the Vanderbilt club right now. They're playing pretty damn good football. I had them last week against Virginia Tech. I thought they had a shot. I like the number on that game. I think they're playing really good football right now, balanced football. And I think they got a big one this week, if I'm not mistaken. I'm looking at hold on. Yeah, they're playing South Carolina. I heard you just saying South Carolina, but I figured South Carolina would be somewhat of a powerhouse after the season they had last year and bringing back a lot of their players. But don't throw this Vanderbilt out of this game against South Carolina. They're winning games very, very strong. South Carolina, yeah, they're 2-0. Vandy's 2-0. That number's low for me. I think if South Carolina was right, they would have been about 6.5, 7. Keeping this number about 5.5. I'd probably jump on Vandy as a surprise team right now. I think they're playing excellent on both sides, and they're scoring points. And I think they could keep up with a team like South Carolina. Definitely South Carolina on paper is the better of the two teams. But at this point in time, with the numbers, the way I look at things, like I tell you guys, I look for the numbers. I thought South Carolina would have been at least a 7-point favorite at home. They're keeping this number at 5.5. I jump it to 7. I think Vandy's a pretty good surprise team right now, obviously in college football. I mean, anything surprising to me? Nothing really surprising. I mean, obviously, maybe FSU, obviously, with that big win against Alabama. Last week, you throw that one out because obviously they played a nobody, but they still poured 70-some-odd points up. So I'm going to keep my eyes on FSU. FSU and Miami should be a really interesting matchup if they stay on course. So, other than that, I'm liking what I'm seeing out there in college football, and I see some interesting matchups this week. What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, no, I think another big surprise that neither of you guys mentioned that I was looking at was this Oregon victory over Oklahoma State. Oregon beat Oklahoma State 69-3, and that's normally the score against like an FCS team, like when when Alabama plays UL Monroe or something like that. So this Oregon team, we gotta watch out for them, I think, too. They're putting their stamp on it. I mean, I don't know if maybe Oklahoma State's that bad, but that was another game that stood out to me. And before we get into predictions, just a couple movements here. I have a really funny line movement here. So Russell Wilson played so bad for the Giants that Jackson Dart's Rookie of the Year odds went from 25-1 to 20-1. And Jackson Dart didn't even play a snap. That's how bad Russell Wilson played. So what that shows is that the odds makers think that Russell Wilson's days are numbered in New York, and that Jackson Dart's going to get put in there. I wish they would have
brought him in the other day. I mean, they had the ball first and goal from the 1-yard line to end the game, and I couldn't punch it in.
Yeah.
I mean, not that it really mattered. They were up by 15, but then the line was 6. But couldn't even punch it in from the 1-yard line at the end of the game. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, the other defense was basically going to give them a touchdown, and they still couldn't do it. So.
Well, that's what happens. I mean, you're talking about a quarterback's had his number of years of success in the league with Russell Wilson. He's getting a little older. I'm sure he knows the writing on the wall. He's got a young stud breathing right behind him. I mean, yeah, his days are numbered if he doesn't perform. Let's face it, could be a very quick hook there. But you got to see, you got to give it a little bit. You can't just hook it right away, because if you rush the other kid in too fast, it might not be a good thing. So you still want him adjusting to the system as well. But in the case, they're going to give Russell Wilson the benefit of the doubt, unless they start out 0-3 and 0-4 and look terrible. Maybe they start thinking about it. But I don't see him coming in the next week or two unless there's an injury. But listen, Russell Wilson knows what's going on at the end of the day. He's grabbing his money. He's down to his last few years in the league. And time will tell, I guess, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
I know we're going to jump into college football, but what you're talking right now about the NFL quarterbacks and whatnot, the talk in Miami and the talk over South Florida is too. Everybody's talking about they're printing up jerseys that say turnover 2 on the back of them. They're talking about I think Daniels just held a press conference like an hour ago. I haven't had a chance to check it out, but you heard a couple of the ex-coaches are just ripping on this kid. So, you got stuff going on. Tyreek Hill, I guess he got in a little altercation. Something happened with him, the domestic violence or whatever. I mean, the Miami Dolphins got some issues going on right now.
They got coaches with issues outside of distractions. They got the head coach he's on the hot seat. I think he's more on the hot seat than Russell Wilson right now. If I had to say who was on the hot seat more in the NFL, it might be Mike McDaniel, the head coach of the Dolphins, more so than anybody at this point in time after week 1. Because if they come out sluggish, there's going to be a lot of boo birds and that stadium's going to be probably less than half full. And you know what happens when the revenue goes down, the owner starts thinking twice, and then they start, trying to figure out what's going on next. And they can't fire the team, so they're going to fire the coach, because usually that's the first thing that goes.
Well, you remember what I said last week? I said if they lose to Daniel Jones, Tua needs to hang him up, and I stand by that. They need some changes there, especially the way they lost. If they lost by a field goal at the end of the game, that'd be a different story. But they got killed. They got absolutely embarrassed. They couldn't move the ball. They turned the ball over. It was absolutely disgusting. So, yeah, I mean, that was a standout Scotty, you called it. Green Bay looking like potentially the best team in the league after the first week. You said you liked them, and Love is looking amazing. That team.
Gotta love, man.
You gotta love, right?
Go.
I told you my favorite two quarterbacks in the AFC and the NFC. I like Justin Herbert to be, probably the quality quarterback in the AFC, and started out really well. Controlled, kept that team in. Didn't make any mistakes or if all on that game against Kansas City opening night. Or when they played that, was it Thursday night game? I think
Thursday. No, Friday night, and he put up great numbers. I have him on my fantasy team. He put up 40 points for me on my fantasy team.
Yeah, and then they come back, with Jordan Love, looking. I don't know if Jordan Love was looking good or just Detroit was so bad. It looked like Detroit just.
That was going to be my next question. Have you ever seen a team lose coordinators the way Detroit did and make such a drop? Do you think it's all because they lost the two coordinators, offensive and defensive?
It's hard to say because I'll tell you, the betting world, if you watch that line went down to pick 'em before it went off from -3.5. That there was so much money pouring on Detroit in the last day or so of that game. So I don't know. I don't think the public would be betting against Green Bay at home. That had to have been sharp money guys that were jumping on that number and buying it down, staying in it. And they didn't show up at all. They looked terrible. They just didn't look like they were ready to go. I got to blame coaching. Personnel, than personnel. I mean, you got to prepare your players to go on the field and play. At the end of the day, yeah, they're professionals. We all know what they're capable of doing. But if you're not coached right, and they're not balanced correctly, it's going to come back to haunt you. And I think that's exactly what happened. Maybe not enough time together as unit, and the experience of Green Bay. Obviously, the head coach has been with them forever. Jordan Love's been now starting quarterback. They picked up some good pieces. After the fact, it looked like a cakewalk kind of game. But beforehand, the line was going directly straight down. Looked like on paper, Detroit, the way the bettors were going, thought that Detroit was going to win that game handily. So that was a total mistake right there.
Yeah, I had the over in that game, and I was in shock. That was the first game in 16 straight games that Detroit didn't score 20 points or more. So, I don't want to sound off the alarm bells too early, but there's some issues there.
That's what happens when you lose good coaching. You try to replace them, and then you're trying to make a system work with a whole different mindset. You bring in these new coordinators now. They don't think maybe like the other guys did, or maybe they do, but they can't put it together maybe as well as what they had. So it might take it. Listen, the first week we'll call it a mulligan. You know what that means, Teddy, in the world. We'll call it a mulligan game. Let's see how they progress weeks 2, 3, and 4. If they continue to not progress, then they got some issues there, obviously, with that those new coordinators and the coaching. Because the players, they got good, solid players. We know that. I got to blame them more on coaching if they keep continuing not to perform well.
My head's the same way. All right, let's get into some picks for college. TK, you want to drop first? You got some? You got anything for the Thursday game?
I'm staying away from the Thursday game.
Scotty, you got the Thursday game?
College football?
Yeah.
Or NFL? Which one?
College. We're starting with college.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I did like the matchups actually. Hold on one second. I'm just taking my notes with me. I got NC State's playing Wake Forest. I mean, these are two interesting teams. They're both off to good starts. 2-0. Wake, but Wake's beat a couple of whatever type of teams. I like the way NC State played last week. In that win against Virginia, because I liked Virginia, but I got lucky. I bought it up to 4 and a hook. Did the old Scotty M magic touch point by a 1.5 on that game. So I got the win on it. It was 3.5. Actually, when we did the show, it was 3.5. I bought it to 4.5, and I got the cover there. But that was a dogfight type of game. Both these teams playing real well right now. NC State, I don't understand, 7.5, man. But I think this game's going to be a high-scoring game. I think these two teams can move the ball, through the air and through the ground. I don't think their defenses are the greatest in the world. They got a total of 53. I'd bring it down to 52. Take the total to go over on that Thursday night college game. I could see some fireworks there. I think that number's about right for those type of explosive teams. So I'm going over.
So yeah, I don't hate that play. I like that play. I'm looking at this game, and Wake Forest has a really good running back. He's averaging 13 yards per carry right now, but they have a very questionable quarterback. So I think this allows NC State to stack the box against Wake Forest and just try to
13 yards average.
Just yeah, but he's only had like 20 carries this season, but he's explosive. He's had some really explosive runs. So I think if they stack the box, stop him. This quarterback isn't very accurate. I think NC State's offense is potent, like you said. I think they can put up a lot of points against Wake Forest. So I like the NC State. I'm going to buy it to 6.5 and take NC State here.
Yeah, they scored. They put up 35 against a pretty damn good a Virginia team. I thought Virginia this year was going to come along a little bit and be more competitive. I still think they will, even though they're 1-1 at this point. But they played really well, Virginia, in that game. But NC State just kept finding ways at the end to keep scoring a will in the second half. So if they could keep that momentum going into this game and piling on some points, I definitely think the other side will score. Wake. So. 50, 52, 53, 53 and a half is the number I'm showing. T probably has
52, 7 and 52 right now at the Circa.
All right, so I'll leave it at the 52 and go over that number. It's not a huge play. Again, $100 player. Stay about $50 on it. Just a good solid pick.
What about Friday, boys? You got something, TK, on Friday?
I'm ready for Friday.
Oh, TK's got a very good Friday record.
Friday night, my Friday night light, Scotty. You see what I did again last Friday? I cashed in last Friday. I'm going to do it again this Friday. The Friday night streak continues. I got this Kansas State Arizona game. I'm going to jump on Kansas State right now, minus the 1.5 in this game. Arizona, they're just 1-7 their last 8 against the spread versus the Big 12. They're 1-5 their last 6 as an underdog. My numbers give me the edge with Kansas State. They should win this game. My numbers got them winning by a touchdown plus. So I'm going to fire away on Kansas State in this one. Nice Friday night winner to start the weekend for me. Kansas State minus the 1.5. Guys, if you want to take the money line, you can take the money line, but don't even worry about it. They should handle it down easily on a Friday night.
You got anything for Friday, Scotty?
No, I actually don't like Friday at all, and I'm scared of that Kansas State team because they're not playing good football right now. They've started out the season 1-2. They're looking a little upside down to me. Those type of games are wiggle game. I call them wiggles because they can wiggle either way, and that's a tough one. I mean, I know it's a low number, and I understand the reasoning why T's probably going in that direction, but I don't like a team that starts out slow, and then I guess the team that has potential. I mean, because the other side is not a lay down by any stretch. That game, that's why the number's soft. I mean, it's a tight number, so. Me personally, no, I don't like anything on Friday, but Saturday, man, we got some dynamite.
Yeah, I mean, hold on. I got a Friday play. Hold your horses there, Scotty. Don't get too excited. So real quick for Friday, this Colorado-Houston matchup. Speaking of soft lines, I thought this line opened up a little soft, opened up 4.5, quickly moved to minus 5.5. I'm not sure if it's still there. I haven't checked it today.
What's the line, Colorado, you said?
Yep. Colorado just named their third-string quarterback. The starter, this week. So we have no clue what we're going to get from this guy. They have a shaky quarterback situation. It shows you that Shedeur Sanders was pretty damn good because this team looks like a mess without him. Houston has a Texas A&M transfer, Connor Weigman, and he has 4 touchdown passes, no interceptions. I love Houston here. As long as they don't turn the ball over, I think they can cover this 6, 5.5, whatever it is. I'd want to make sure I kept it under 6, and I'm going Houston minus 5.5 here.
Yeah, solid 4.5. 4.5 right now. Went down to 4.5.
You got to just see what Houston team shows up. If the right Houston team shows up, you're probably 1,000% right. Probably much better on both sides of the ball in that matchup. But again, you got to find in Colorado, like you said, Dion in less than a year. Can you imagine all the stuff that's happened to him? He loses his 2 best players. Now he's down to his 3rd-string quarterback, all in a short period.
And he got cancer. God bless the man. He got cancer too. He beat off cancer.
So he's got a lot of stuff going on right now.
He's having a hell of a year. So if he can get through this, he can get through anything for sure. All right, Scotty. I know you were excited about that Saturday play. Let's hear it.
I'll tell you, it's not even a question excited about Saturday play. There's some great matchups out there. I'm sure T has been staring them down as well. You got Georgia playing Tennessee. That should be a beautiful game. Two solid programs, both 2-0, both ranked in the top 20. Georgia 6, Tennessee 15. Georgia 3.5 on the road against the Tennessee Vol team that's no slouch, man. I mean, this team can score. I mean, usually Georgia shows up in games like this. Obviously, with Kirby Smart, he gets his. If anyone could prepare, he's going to be preparing as good as anybody out there when it comes to big matchup. But uh, I think Georgia's the right side of this game. I'm going to make this a money line play. I'm going to jump on Georgia. I'm going to lay the extra juice on it because I think the game could be tight. I think it's going to a mistake in this game is going to be the difference maker somehow, some way. Whoever keeps the ball from the turnovers and things like that is going to be the key to winning this game. Usually does in games like this, a key fumble or a key interception or whatever the case may be. I'm going to take Georgia on the money line, and another one scratching my head. But this team, this is another interesting matchup. You guys got to be looking at this one a little bit. Arkansas is playing Ole Miss. I mean, I know Ole Miss kind of let it down last week. They won, but they didn't cover that spread. Depending on when you got it in, if you adjusted it, kind of when we put it out, it was kind of already up to 10. So it's hard to get it down, to 7 from 10. But I think Arkansas is going to give them all they can handle. I really do. This Arkansas team they're 2-0. Yeah, they haven't beat the world, but they've been really, really good on offense and not bad on defense. And they're finding ways to score on almost all their possessions. I know Ole Miss at home is a tough cookie. Don't get me wrong, but 6.5. I think if Ole Miss was right, this game might have been at least a touchdown or more. I'm going to jump this game up to 7.5, and I'm going to take the dog in this game. I think the Razorbacks are definitely barking in this one. I think they could stay in this game, and I would be shocked if this game goes down to the wire and it's a 3-4 point game either way. Whoever wins it. So I'm going to take again Georgia money line, and I'm going to take Arkansas plus 7.5. Those are the two I really like Saturday. Best bets for me.
Interesting. Okay, what about you, TK?
Well, I got one game I'm looking. I'm not really looking at the big schools this week. I'm going to jump on this game here. It's the Jacksonville State Georgia Southern game. I'm going to take Jacksonville State plus the 4 points in this one. Look at these stats. Jacksonville State 4-1 in their last 5 against the spread. They're a perfect 2-0 as an underdog this year. Georgia Southern 0-2 against the spread this year. They got blown out in both games. My numbers got this game with Jacksonville State winning, but I will take the 4 points, and I'm going to get paid with Jacksonville State plus the 4. I'm looking for them to win outright, but I will take them 4 points in this game. Jacksonville State plus the points.
Okay. And that's it for Saturday?
I got one more if you want to jump on yours.
No, go ahead. I'll wait for last.
I'm going to close it off in the college football. I'm going to jump on this Texas State-Arizona State game. I'm going to take Arizona State. The current line right now is 14. It's fluctuating 14, 14.5. Arizona State 7-2 their last 9 against the spread. 5-1 their last 6 against the spread on Saturday at home. I got them winning this game by 20-plus points. I like them in this situation. Arizona State minus it's now 14.5, 15. Lay the points. They'll win this game here by 20-plus on Saturday, late evening show.
Texas State surprised everyone last week.
Yep, I had them last week. I had Texas State last week. It was a great high-scoring game last week.
I had UT. They played UTSA, right?
UTSA.
Yeah, I had UTSA.
High-scoring game. A couple of turnovers killed it for UTSA at the end, but
yeah,
great game to watch, though.
So it looks like we're all on different games, which is pretty cool for you guys out there watching. You get to see, you get a lot of different predictions here. So I'm going to get right into my two. First one I like at 12 o'clock. This is going to be a good game, I think. Clemson, Georgia Tech, high-scoring game. Guys, this line opened at 52. It quickly moved up to 53.5. TK, if you want to give me a line check on that one, where it is now. But, guys, this Georgia Tech offense, don't doubt them. They're putting up 43 points per game, averaging 571 yards per game. Granted, it's probably against a little bit weaker defenses, but guess what? This Clemson defense has not impressed so far. The offense hasn't really impressed either. The team's just very unimpressive right now. High hopes for this Clemson team, and they, after 2 weeks, are definitely not living up to it. But I still think Cade Klubnik can get it back on track and get things right. And I think Georgia Tech can move the ball against this Clemson D. The last 3 times these teams have faced each other, 23, 22, and 21, I believe, 63 points, 80 points, and 66 points. When these two teams meet, it's a high-scoring affair. I'm going over 53.5 in this one. T, what is it?
Solid 3.5 and 54. Clemson's 3.5 and 54.
54, right, okay.
Fluctuating back and forth.
That's an interesting matchup because I don't know if Georgia Tech's playing over their head right now. If they are, that's great. Clemson's not playing up to par. Obviously, that first week against LSU, that was a tough beatdown. LSU's defense just shut them down big time in the second half of that game. Came back last week, got us. So, supposed win, wasn't a blowout kind of style win against a smaller opponent. But Georgia Tech, like you say, man, they're a rambling wreck. They're finding ways to make some things happen. So
yeah, that ball's flying for them, Scotty. And yeah, I mean, Clemson almost lost last week. I think it was a close game. They found a way to win, but they could have lost that game. My second, go ahead.
Go right ahead.
Oh no, my second game for Saturday. This is a pure numbers bet, guys. This is a game that Scotty always says it. The number just looks off. And here's the deal: Texas Tech. They played Kent State and Pine Bluff, and they looked like a monster team against those two schools. But guess what? Now they play a little bit more of a real school, real team, and I think that we have a majorly inflated number because of how Texas Tech has been performing. They're 24.5-point favorites, or maybe 24-point favorites against Oregon State in Oregon, right? I don't think Oregon State's some great team, but this number should not be 24. It's way off. It should be somewhere, I think, between 14 and 18. So I'm seeing a huge differential here. I'm jumping all over it. This is the kind of matchup that, like the Sharps, they could bet this down. So I'd hop on it now. It's at 3:30 on Saturday. Oregon State at home plus 24.5.
There you go, Scotty. Go on that.
Kind of shake your head team. I had California against them. That was a huge play for me. I think a week or two ago. They went in there and just kind of manhandled them. But listen, maybe they're due for a bounce back. But that's a lot of points to give them. A team like Oregon State, but their program I think's declined.
It has.
Yeah.
4 or 5 years ago, their program was much better.
It was solid.
But yeah, 24.5 points. I mean, that's 3.5 touchdowns. That's a lot, especially on the road. Yeah, I just think it's too many. I mean, listen, I think Texas Tech could easily win this game by 21 points, but that's still 3 points off the line. So I'm taking those 24.5.
A lot of great matchups this week, and we didn't even talk about some good ones. I mean, not that we have opinions, maybe, but Texas A&M, Notre Dame, top 20 teams going at each other. Notre Dame coming off their first week loss, tough loss, battled at the end against Miami. Texas A&M off to a great start, 2-0. That's going to be a great game. They got Notre Dame 6.5 at home on that one. That's a tough number. That one made it tough for me. And like I said, we got a lot of good matchups the whole entire weekend of college football. It's a good slate of games.
Yeah, good slate.
And guys, be careful out there. There's a lot of interesting games. You don't want to be chasing after them all and putting yourself in that spot, chasing games all day and night, because that's how you get hurt. And you don't want to start putting big dents into your wallet early in the football season. You want to try to increase the wallet so you can have more firepower towards the middle and the latter part of the season, where you can really try to make some money using house money.
Well, my wallet got a little fatter last week after my 3-0 in the college football. I think the Circa just got scared of Teddy there for a second. They just pulled this game off the board in the Clemson Georgia Tech for the last 2 minutes.
Uh-oh.
They finally put it back up, man. I think they heard you speaking on it.
They're watching this show.
They're
Listen.
watching it, man. They're live. They must have it on the big screen over there in Circa Sportsbook, YouTube on the YouTube up there. And they just pulled the game off the board. It's back up right now, though.
I heard our shows on the big screens at the Circa right now.
We're competing with the Vision out there.
I had actually Circa. What I like about Circa, they're one of the only sports books that publicly releases all of their bet percentages and their money percentages. So I'm gonna actually give you guys some NFL big splits from the Circa here in a second. Couple questions we have. All right. So what about Georgia Tech? This is all from OPP. Gotta love them. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me start with Dane Thomas. Paul Skeens, 7 strikeouts tonight. You guys have any opinion on that?
Paul Skeens.
I put that up on my poll today with everybody. I can look at my poll, right? I think everybody was even.
See what your poll says about that. I really don't have an opinion on the strikeouts on that one. You got to be careful with these strikeout props, because you could have a pitcher that is pitching well, but you got to look at other stuff. You got to look at how the umpire likes to call things. So a lot of people, of course, people are going to obviously think over. So, 56% thought that he's going to go over on the strikeouts. I personally don't have an opinion on that one. Then really quick here. Okay, Georgia Tech, Clemson, OPP. I think Georgia Tech could win that game outright. What do you guys think? I think I don't disagree, OPP. I think that Georgia Tech is looking like a powerhouse, like Scotty said. Now we need to see, is it a fluke or are they for real, right? And we need to see, hey, is Clemson really as bad as they've looked the first 2 weeks, or are they a little bit better? So I think these are two teams. That's what makes this game so interesting. You got a Georgia Tech team that's performing way better than people thought. You got a Clemson team that's performing way worse than people thought. So could they OPP? Yeah, I see potentially live dog. I just like the over better than the side here.
I wouldn't be surprised if whoever won that game. If Georgia Tech won, I would say, oh my God, wow, they should have never won. Of course, they'd had a shot to win. And if Clemson wins, I mean, I'd feel the same way. So it's one of those type of games. Either way, you could see the team winning a game like this. If Georgia Tech continues on their pace and they're executing at this level like they've been executing, and Clemson needs to, if they start executing on a better level, I mean, obviously they can go in there and win this game pretty handily themselves. So it's a tough game. It really is. It kind of scares you off it because it's one you want to kind of see how these teams do over the next following them and tracking them over the next couple of weeks to see if they're fugazi or they're the real deal.
So I got another question from OPP. Pitt versus West Virginia. They call this game the backyard brawl, guys. Anyone have opinions on this Pitt-West Virginia game?
I got an opinion on it, but it's going to be my top VIP selection going on Saturday. I got it circled right here. You can see it in the green.
Let me see. Hold on.
You can see it right there. I got it right there. I'm not going to give it out here because the only way you're going to get it is through my VIP.
I'm not telling. Don't worry.
You saw what I got going on that one. But if you want that one game, just hit me up in my bio, direct that message me, and I'll take care of OPP. If you want that one, just send me a direct message, and I'll take care of it on me.
He'll give it to you for free, just you personally, OPP, because you're such a good viewer of this show, but he can't just give it to everyone for free.
I think Pitt right now, the way they're playing on all cylinders, and if they're making them 6.5 going on the road in this game, I think they think that that's the right side of the game, and I'm kind of agreeing with them at this point. If I was to bet this game, I would probably take the. You guys there with me?
Yeah, we're here. We hear you. You're good.
Okay. I would probably lean towards Pitt, but I would bring it down to probably 5 points.
Yeah,
6.5 right now.
This QB for Pitt, Eli Holstein, he is looking really good. So I don't disagree with that there. But that might be a private play for me too. So I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, I think that number makes sense. I mean, West Virginia. I mean, they're 1-1 so far. They got beat up. They won a game. They got beat up in a game. But Pitt's playing solid. They're scoring points. It seems like their offense is fine-tuned right now. Like I said, another situation. You see these teams get off to these great starts, win a couple of games, and pour up a lot of points, and then you think they're invincible. But then all of a sudden they come out and have a lay an egg kind of game, and now you're back to the drawing board again, saying, "Oh, what's going on with them?" The first 2 weeks they looked great, and all of a sudden they didn't show up for the third week. So, but in a matchup like this, based on the numbers, I think it leans towards Pitt in this spot more so than West Virginia. If I was betting this game, I'd probably put money on Pitt and bring it down to 5.
Okay, let's move on to the NFL, guys.
NFL.
I think
what a wild week last week in the NFL.
Oh,
what about that Sunday night game? What about that Monday night game? Those are wild. There, I went to bed. That game was Baltimore was up by like 20 plus points in that game. I thought it was over. I didn't bet the game, but I thought it was over. I went to bed. I woke up and I saw the final score. I put my glasses on. I couldn't believe it. I
got killed on Sunday. I had a good Saturday. Sunday hurt me. Here's the game that really crushed me. I had the over in that Falcons game, and all I needed was that damn Woo to kick that, or Koo, whatever the hell his name is, to kick that field goal and make it, and it was a guaranteed over, and he missed that 44-yarder. And that was my big play of the day on Sunday. So that crushed me. But I bounced back Monday. You probably saw it, TK, and Scotty was on my freeze.
Teaser?
JJ McCarthy. No, the teaser too. But I'm talking about the JJ McCarthy over and Vikings money line. I went to sleep. I've been falling asleep super early. I went to sleep thinking that game was a loss, and everything happened in the fourth quarter. So that was pretty cool. But let's get into some NFL, TK. What do you got for us?
I'm ready to rumble on Sunday. I know Scott's still there, but I'm ready to rumble, man. I'm looking at this game here, the New York Giants against the Dallas Cowboys. Their current line right now, Dallas -6. I watched the Giants play last week. The Giants 0-6 their last 6 against the spread on the road. They're 0-5 their last 5 against the NFC East. Dallas 4-1 against the spread their last 5. They had a nice cover last week against Philly. My numbers, and if they're right, and I know again they're right this week, Dallas should win this game by 14 plus. They looked great last week. They didn't win, but they got the cover. But I'm going to lay the 6 with the Cowboys and get a nice, I think this should be about a 14 plus victory for the Cowboys here on Sunday at 1 o'clock.
Okay, you got anything on Thursday? We got a couple guys asking about Thursday's game. You know how these people are. Everyone wants
I like
the
the
most
Thursday
recent
game, but again, I'm putting it on my VIP. Sorry, guys. I mean, I've been giving a lot of games out. I had a winning week on the show last week, but my VIP players get a little upset when I give up some of my VIP plays out there in the show. But that's my top play that I'm giving out. Dallas Cowboys, I love them. Minus the 6. Like I said, they should win by 14 plus on this one.
I think that Thursday night game is going to be a great game. I mean, you got two young, talented quarterbacks, two good offenses, two decent defenses going at it. Both teams expected to make the playoffs. Should be a really exciting game. 3.5 point spread makes it tough. But I got a feeling that the Packers are going to get the job done in that game. I would bring it down. I would bring this line down to about 2.5 on Green Bay. I think Green Bay's the right side of the game. I just think they were going to build off that momentum of last week. Redskins won against, it's just like you said, a depleted Giants team. I think when you go into Lambeau with full steam ahead and Jordan Love and the defense clicking on all cylinders, it's going to make it tough. It's tough sledding, especially for a young quarterback like Daniels. So I think Green Bay's a good play in that game. I think if you can get that line down to 2. I like the Packers on that Thursday night game. That's probably one of my top plays that I'm giving away for free.
I have a player prop in this game. This is a Get the Edge podcast exclusive player prop in Thursday night football. I'm going with Deebo Samuel over 4.5 receptions. He was targeted 10 times last week. He caught 7 of them. So all he has to do is match that same number, and this is an easy cover. Obviously, I think they're going to try to get Terry McLaurin involved a little bit more in the offense. But that being said, Samuel he knows how to get away. He knows how to get open, especially for those short passes and the screens and stuff like that. So he can quickly rack up receptions, just getting those little short dump offs that quarterbacks like to throw him because he's very shifty. He kind of is that hybrid model receiver running back type of guy. So that's my exclusive play for this podcast, Deebo Samuel in tomorrow night's game over 4.5 receptions.
Since you guys are going to give it, I might as well get up. I'm going against you, Scotty. I'm going against you on this one.
Oh, he's giving
going
it.
Against him, man. You're not here, but I'm going against you. I'm going to take Washington. I'm going to take them plus 3.5. Actually, they both win on this one if we play the cards right, but I don't think it's going to be that even close on that. Washington 5-2 their last 7 against the spread. 8-1 straight up their last 9 games. 4-1 against the spread their last 5 against Green Bay. 4-1 they're straight up on the road. I'm going against you, Scotty. I'm taking Washington Commanders plus the points on Thursday night. I threw one in there for you.
All right. I feel sorry for you, brother.
We'll see what happens. I just had one of my customers text me like that. He says that a young Henry Winkler in the background.
Who's that?
One of my customers sent me a DM. He says that Henry Winkler, the Fonz from Happy Days on the show.
Oh yeah,
we got AI back there
with the white T-shirt.
The white tee, the hair's extra poofy, extra slick. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Hey, it's Boston, baby. The hair doesn't work as well as it works in South Florida, man. You got to adjust with the altitudes and the water conditions. I'm trying, man. It wasn't easy today.
And there's no humidity.
I got to thank my wife, by the way. She's been sitting here waiting for me doing this and looking at me like she's ready to kill me.
All right, give us your Sunday NFL, and then your wife can have you back.
Well, I kind of the game I'm actually. Well, hold on one second. I do like I said, the Packers on Thursday. I didn't really dive into Sunday as much. I was kind of gearing up for Saturday and Thursday. But hold on one sec. I did have some notes here I made.
You should just give your wife the credit card. If you're buying the Encore up there, some nice stores in the
Encore. Don't worry. This is going to cost me. Trust me. Anyways. The Eagles and the Chiefs, man, going the three-peat. That's going to be a great game. I'm surprised you guys didn't mention anything. But my play, I'm going to go against probably TK. I don't know if he likes this play. It doesn't. I think the Colts are going to beat the Broncos. I think the home dog. I think they're making that number. This is one of those scratch-your-head kind of games because Denver, obviously winning last week, whatever the case may be, and a lot of people thinking they're going to have a season. But I think this Colts team is not too shabby, and they play well at home. And I think they could show up in a game like this and giving them a couple of points at home. I think they're a live dog in this game. So I'm going to jump on the Colts in this game against the Broncos. I think I'd like to see how the Broncos do on the road. Yeah, I know they can play well at home and all that good stuff, but I think the Colts will show up in this game. Daniel Jones had a hell of a game last week. I think that momentum can carry over. You're making this team a home dog, and I think they can show up in this game and give Denver all they can handle. So I'm going to take the live dog at home with the Colts. Not that it's a big dog, +2, and that's going to be it. That's my play on Sunday, Colts +2.
Scotty, enjoy the rest of your vacation. Take care, brother. We'll see you next week.
All right, guys. Be good, man.
Hey, Scotty, you want to give a little quick plug, or are you already gone?
I'm good, man. It's all good.
Okay, later.
Thank you.
And speaking about the Colts, I don't know if you watched, but the owner, she had the headset on. I
saw that. She wants to be involved.
On a play. She wants to know what's going to involve, what they're talking about. Thought that was interesting. I kind of like the Colts as well. I haven't put it out as a play yet. It's too early. My numbers are in the pink right here, so I got to wait a couple lines.
She wants to be the next Jerry Jones and have her hands very
in everything.
In everything. I got a couple plays I like Sunday here, TK. This Steelers-Seahawks matchup. Steelers got the win against the Jets in a close game. End of the game. Rodgers, he looked good. I think Aaron Rodgers looked very good. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Here's the thing. I don't know how that offensive line, they need to protect him a little bit better. He got sacked 4 times. He got a lot of pressure. And I think the reason he was able to do well still is because of the weakness of that Jets secondary. They didn't look good. They got beat a lot. And because they got beat, Rodgers was able to find open men. I don't know if the Seattle Seahawks are going to give them that much cushion in the secondary. And I think that Seahawks put up a good fight against the 49ers. They did have a chance to win it at the end. They had to score a touchdown, which they didn't do. If the Seahawks would have kicked a field goal there, it would have covered the spread for them. Obviously, they were trying to win, not cover the spread. But, third thing here is the Steelers have another game on the road, whereas the Seahawks are going home here. I think this 3.5, I think we have a live dog here, guys. That's what I think. I think this 3.5 at home is a lot. I don't know if you see it at 3.5. Where do you
see it? Solid 3-40 everywhere right now.
3-40. Yeah, I would buy this thing up to 3.5. I think we have a live home dog here in the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm not touching that game. Like I said, I just gave out the one game here. Dallas minus the points. It's going to be another wild weekend in the NFL football.
It's going to be another fun weekend.
2 Monday night games going. You got an East Coast game. You got a West Coast game. I don't know if you're using anything on the Monday night games, but
I haven't looked at Monday night yet.
I haven't really looked at the Monday night as well, but 2 games going. That's going to be interesting on Monday night.
All right, guys. So no more questions. I think we're going to wrap it up here. Did you have a baseball you wanted to give out?
I like the baseball here tonight. You got anything going to the baseball?
I do. I have one too. I'm going to give.
I'm going to baseball. It's going to be starting here probably in like 30 minutes or so. Let me just check the current line here in the MLB. I pulled up right now. Sorry about that. Just trying to pull up the MLB. Give me 1 second. It's actually up on my free play right now. We got one game going on in Milwaukee, Texas. Milwaukee's winning 2-1. But I got a play going here this afternoon, starting in about 30 minutes. I'm going to jump on San Fran. Current line minus 130. San Fran's playing Arizona. San Fran, they've been red hot right now. They're 13-3 their last 16 games, 8-1 their last 9 at home. I'm jumping on them. They're going against the lefty Rodriguez, and they've been hitting the lefty pitching. Seymour on the mound for San Fran. I think they get another win at home. It's going off in 30 minutes or so. Going to take San Fran minus the 130 in this matchup early afternoon going today in the Major League Baseball. I do like San Fran today.
Yeah, so I'm all over the home team tonight. The Miami Marlins, they got their stud Yuri Perez on the mound. He has a 2.25. Ben just dropped his phone trying to film us. Do it again, Ben. Do it again. Okay. He has a 2.25 ERA at home. He has not given up 1 home runs in 40 innings pitched at home. I love it. He's going up against a pitcher that's just not on the same level. So, guys, Miami Marlins, first 5 innings, minus a half a run, and that is all she wrote. I am fired up for this week. Let me kick it back to my partner in crime here, TK. TK, tell the people where they can find you.
I can tell you where to find me, but I want to ask you one more thing.
Yeah.
Have you watched the news here with the betting? Me and you, Scott never talks about these controversies. NBA is going to investigate Beasley. 3 college basketball players involved in a gambling scheme out on the West Coast. They've been expelled from school and whatnot. I don't know if you've seen it, the news lately. But a lot of stuff going on, man, with
Hey,
player props.
I also did
Get rid
see
of the props in college.
I saw that they actually cleared a couple of the NBA players of any wrongdoing on a couple investigations. So, maybe they're jumping the gun investigating when
the baseball one's still open.
The baseball one's still open, but they closed a couple of the NBA ones and said that the players did nothing wrong. So it's going to be interesting to see that. Just because it's innocent until proven guilty here, TK.
Exactly.
So
but these guys must be guilty. They got expelled from school, whatnot, and the betting patterns, whatnot. That's a little bit more involved in the college than the pro. Obviously, the pro is making big money in NIL. I just watched a thing on NIL as well. They're trying to make a thing where you can only have one transfer. You can either take NIL money and not transfer, or go in the transfer protocol and get one transfer.
They got to figure something out.
Something out because
it's the Wild West. Yeah, it's the Wild West
out there.
And one of the major differences there's no regulation or rules. So you got agents who, like I was watching this thing the other day, and the agent, he represents the coach. He's the coach's agent for his deals with the team, with the school. But then he's also agent for the players that play under that coach. So it's going to be crazy, but we'll see where it takes us. We talked about
Got to do something.
Yeah, I talked about last week adapting. You just got to adapt to the changes because it's definitely going to cause changes. It's funny, like the most stable league right now seems to be the NFL. The NFL is the only league. I mean, you look at basketball, baseball, and college football have undergone way more changes in the last few years in the NFL. So it's going to be interesting to see where it leads us. But yes, that is all she wrote, guys. We're going to kick it back to TK to let the people know where you can find them.
Hey, guys, I'm going to have a big weekend this weekend. If the guys have followed me last week, and I was 5-1 on Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to have a big weekend this weekend. So check me out. I'm on Instagram at TK Wins, and you can follow right from Instagram right to my website. You can go right to tkwins.com. I got a lot of stats, a lot of odds, and a lot of other information I put out there as well. Some stories on my Instagram as well. So check me out at TK Wins on Instagram. That's the best place to find me there. And you?
All right. You could find me at _profits_pick on Instagram, just like it says right there. That's where all the magic's happening, guys. We have the channel on there. We give out multiple picks a day for free. We do the video breakdowns. We do trials. We do special little deals, a couple days for $10, stuff like that. So if you want to try us out without investing the big money, go there. You can also go to thesportsprofits.com and check us out there. Guys, it has been a pleasure. Ben, it has been a pleasure. We will see you guys next week with Scotty back at the helm for more breakdowns, recaps. Make sure you put your bets in and do it responsibly.
Should we put you in the middle and Scotty on the left next
I
week?
might have to. Hey, listen, I might have to take his job.
You might have to do something there.
We will see you guys next time. I was looking at the wrong camera.
Yeah, I get you confused over here. I'm used to that.
When I'm go.